Hi, friends. Bonjour. Did you see him run?
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien. Did you just ask me my name?
No,
You asked me how I was.
How are you doing?
And I said, ça va bien.
Yeah.
Et toi?
Ça va très bien.
Enchanté. She's smiling.
We're learning French, so.
Yeah, I haven't done it in the last 2 days.
Same. But we're learning it on Duolingo.
Duolingo's great. I did it before we went to Honduras.
Free.
It's free.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. That's how I learned to say oso.
That means bear.
Yes. And toro is bull.
I mean, that makes sense.
Because when I went there, I had a nose piercing at the time. So the little kids went, Toro. I'm like, excuse me? Because they're like, you have a ring in your nose.
That's funny.
But anyway, we thought today we would share some embarrassing, funny,
memorable
moments
in our life.
I've got some good ones.
So how many?
I've got 6, but we can go off from there.
I have 5.
That's fine.
One of them, though, I'm not sure if I'm gonna share or not.
Oh, really?
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll make a decision. I'll still tell it, and then we might cut it out.
There's one that I'm debating whether to share or not. Moments that have questioned, I don't know where I was going with that.
Questioned. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we were questioning ourselves in these moments, so.
I don't think I've ever been truly embarrassed. I've been in a lot of uncomfortable situations.
I feel like I've been embarrassed. There's been a few times.
Has there?
Yeah, I just, I'm very clumsy.
Oh, I am so fucking clumsy.
So, I get injured a lot, and a lot of those happen in front of other people.
As they would.
I just thought of another one while we're sitting here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is it the screen door?
No, but that's another one too.
I love that one.
Yeah, literally. So in Annie's old apartment, it was like you had the living room when you kind of walked into the living room. And then straight ahead slightly to the right was her bedroom. And then there was a little sunroom. And it was it was quite small. But it was like a little sunroom and she had big windows and everything like that. And to get into this little sunroom was this sliding glass door. And the glass, I'm pretty sure everybody can predict where this is going. But I don't even remember why I was headed into that room, but Annie kept these doors spotless in my defense. There was not a mark on these doors, and I went full force running into this room and slammed straight into the door.
So hard.
I literally had a bruise on my knee.
Yeah.
And I thought I had broken my nose because I went straight into this.
I don't know why you were full speed running.
And the door was on one of those slider things that were on the floor. So
yeah. As
I'm running, before I was looking to see where the slider was as to not trip on the little slider thing. And I was running and I was okay, I'm going to jump over this slider thing. So not only am I running towards this door, but I leapt into the door.
Full into it.
Yeah.
Also, because I'm sitting on the couch and I just hear boing, boing, boing.
Literally the whole glass door
shaking,
is just
and then,
shaking.
Oh!
Yeah, and I'm just standing there holding my face because I thought I had broken my nose.
I thought you did.
I thought for sure. My nose wasn't bleeding. So that was I don't know. I feel if you break your nose, it has to bleed. I could be wrong on that completely.
I've never broken my nose, so I don't know.
But every time I see people in movies and stuff break their nose, it's bleeding.
It's bleeding.
So I'm okay, well, it's not bleeding. But I was this is what I imagine it to feel like. Also, it's just it's in the middle of your face. It's such a sensitive part. The nerves in your nose are all connected to the nerves in your eyes. So there were just tears. So even though it didn't it was sensitive, but, like, it didn't hurt, like, that bad. I was still, like, crying because all of the nerves in my nose were, like, irritated.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Full force into this.
It was so funny to watch.
And Annie was dying afterwards. She was, like, laughing so hard. She goes, I can't believe I missed that. I can't believe I didn't get it on tape. She was like, I wish I filmed it. And I was like, well...
I can't even remember what we were doing.
Literally, I feel like it was something like the first snowfall.
Yeah, because it was at night.
Fireworks or like something like that. And then I just got too excited.
Oh, let me see. And just ran into my door.
I was like, oh, I think whatever's happening. And then I just went full force into this door. So, then Annie lived there I lived there for a while, like, after that, and I had, like, PTSD about this door.
I'm not going near it.
Every time I went close to the door, I would, like, put my hand out and, like, to make sure that it wasn't there. It was...
You are the only one that's ever done that in my apartment.
I mean, to be fair, did you have many people in that apartment?
Not really.
So, yeah, I don't know why... Yeah.
It was so
Also,
good.
I lived there for a short time, so the odds of that happening were higher. But then also you would think because I was fucking living there,
you'd know.
I'd know when the door was closed. Also, I will add, a lot of time the door was kept open because we would just like go between those rooms.
Yeah, I don't know why I had it closed.
I don't know either.
Usually, I must have closed it because it was like noisy.
Probably.
There must have been something going on.
But yeah.
God, that was so funny. You are quite clumsy.
I'm very clumsy.
I'm very clumsy. Like, every time I go on a hike with Britt, I fall. She told you when she came up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but also, like, recently that's been, like, Stevie.
Oh, my God. Because we went down to the Scarborough Bluffs. No one was around. It was just Britt, thankfully. But there's a little, this tiny little lighthouse at the very end of the bluffs. Yeah. Like where the beach is. And you walk all the way down. I'm like, oh, like I want to go up and I want to see it because from like that point you can see the entire bluffs. It's really pretty. Yeah. So I'm walking slowly up to it. And there's like this little ledge that goes down. It's like goes down, right? Yeah. But there's this massive fucking rock. Like huge rock. Yeah. On the lip of the ledge. Okay. I didn't see the rock. And Stevie's pulling me. So, I'm not looking down. I'm obviously looking straight ahead. So I trip over this rock. And Stevie's still pulling me. So now she's dragging me to the lighthouse.
Through the gravel road.
Through the gravel. And then Brittany's like, are you good?
How did you get up?
Slowly. I'm like, Britt, can you take her? I don't know how I didn't get gravel in my knees. I smacked the shit out of my hand. Because I had to, like, somehow support myself. Yeah. Yeah. But that happens all the time. Like, I'm incredibly clumsy.
Yeah. I do think through working out, I've become a little bit less clumsy. Yeah. I think it's like just in general, my balance is better, but I'm still not.
Yeah. Even since I was a kid, I was never like, eye coordinated. Yeah. In sports, just I would always get baseballs to the face. Yeah. A good old soccer ball, a volleyball.
Oh my gosh, I got soccer balls to the face all the time. I played soccer for like a good few years, and literally, I got an award one year for, to those who take a licking and keep on ticking.
Stop it.
Because
that's amazing.
Because I would get hit in the face. Yeah. Over and over and over again.
You keep getting up.
And just be like, I'm fine. I'm good.
I'm good.
And, like, it would be, like, hit hard, like, to the point where... Also, when a soccer ball hits something, it makes a smack. Like, And, like, I used to get hit, like, all the time. And, like, now I wear contacts, but at the time I wore glasses. And I would be in at the eye doctor, like, once a week being like, can you readjust my glasses for me? Because I've been smacked in the face, like, 3 times this week. But literally I would get smacked so hard sometimes that, like, the whole people, like, parents watching me be, ooh. And then I just, like, stand up and be like, yeah!
That's the funniest part is when you fall and you're like, no one saw it. And then you just heard everyone go, ooh.
Oh my god, that reminds me of when we were in high school. You know how you used to have those, the basketball or football games where you would have to pay a toonie?
Oh my god, I remember
What are they called? Buyouts.
Yeah, buyouts.
So you would buy your way out of class. That's why we call them buyouts.
Yeah.
To go and watch. So you'd pay a toonie. I don't even know what that went to.
I don't know.
Hopefully some charity.
It probably did.
Probably. No, I think it did, actually.
Didn't it go to, like, the sports program? I feel like it just went to the sports programs.
Also, why didn't we have buyouts for the musical?
Because they only focus on sports.
True.
And it was only the male sports.
Yeah, I never had a buyout for the female sports. No. Oh my gosh.
They also had shittier uniforms. Anyway.
Yeah, so, but that reminds me, there was a buyout for a basketball game, and, like, let's be real, like, I don't really care about watching them, but I didn't want to be in class, so I was like, I'm gonna pay a toonie to get out of this, so, I was like, okay, like, I'll go chill with my friends and watch the basketball game. Paid the toonie. We were, like, slightly late. I don't remember why. I think I was, like, finishing up something, and then the teacher was like, then you can go. And I was like, but I've already paid a toonie, so that's kind of rude, but... Anyway, so then I get to the buyout. Everybody's already in the stands, and my friends are already there. So I show up, and I think it's only me and, like, maybe 2 other people who are coming with me to meet up with the rest of our friend group. And we're walking up, and you know when you're, like, walking upstairs in bleachers, and you're, like, looking for your friends, right? So that's me. I'm, like, looking to try and find my friend group. And I see them, and I take a step, and I trip. And I catch myself. And everybody just kind of goes... Like, you hear everybody, like, like, their breaths catch when I trip initially. Yeah. But then I catch myself, and then, like, everybody calms for a second. Then I'm like, okay, I caught myself, like, it's fine, we're fine. I take one more step and face plant straight into the bleachers. Like, it's like, like you thought. Like,
but no.
And as soon as I go face plant, my knee smacks into the stair in front of me.
That's painful.
And everybody's like, ooh, everybody in the stand. Like, nobody was watching the basketball game at that point. Yeah. Everybody's eyes. I'm pretty sure even the players were probably watching me at that point. Because I just... I think it was worse because I caught myself and everyone's like, oh, she's good. Like, she's Gucci. She caught herself. And then literally the next step I took was face planting. Like, I was like, are you joking? Like, I was like...
Oh, it was so good.
I also remember, like, in the moment... catching myself and being like, okay, like, you're fine, like, you didn't embarrass yourself. That would have been so embarrassing had you have face planted. Like, having that conversation in my head, and then face planting immediately after, and I was like, oh,
of course,
yeah, I just, like, have really bad luck with like things like that. Yeah, it was.
I have bad luck when it comes to, like, literally just walking. My thing maybe because my legs are so long and my feet are so long, I trip over them all of the time. All of the time.
I don't think that's
it's probably not a fact.
I don't think that's a thing.
I'm just terrible with my balance. Like, I think I've told you before the huge steps that we had in the gym at university, right?
Yeah.
There was, like, oh my God, like 30 steps, 30 big ass steps. They were huge.
Yeah.
And me and Yvonne would always walk up, but today I was coming from Lucy's apartment when I was living there. Yeah. And I was by myself. So I was late to class, so I was running up the stairs, and you know when you fall up?
Oh yeah.
So
that's me going on the bleachers.
Yeah.
That's
so I had tripped up. So, and then I fell down. So I'm also 15 steps up.
Wait, you fell all 15 steps down? Oh my gosh.
It was a tumble. Just like bam,
like you just
bam,
roll.
My bag opens, shit goes everywhere. I had Starbucks. Where do you think that went?
Oh my god.
Went on me. And beside me, they were doing basketball tryouts.
Oh.
So, and like the gym that we had, it's all glass so everyone can see in.
Oh.
And everyone saw me. Thankfully, a lot of people came and helped.
Was it men's basketball? Mm-hmm. Were they attractive?
Very.
Oh.
But they came and helped me.
Okay, that's
so it's like,
nice.
Hello.
You're like,
oh my god, my leg.
The damsel in distress.
So, like, everyone's helping me put, like, my shit back in my bag, and then I did not go to class.
Did Yvonne help you?
Yvonne wasn't there.
Oh.
I was by myself.
You were by yourself.
So, like, you can't even have a friend to laugh, because when there's a friend, you can laugh at it.
At least, like, you can laugh together.
Such me.
Would you ever, if we were going up a set of stairs together and I fell, would you also fall to make me feel better?
No. It depends how many stairs there are. If you're falling like a whole flight and you've injured yourself, no.
But if I like tripped up,
I would trip probably with you.
To make me feel better.
It must be the stairs.
Yeah. You also I remember there was one time, and it was right when we had moved in here. And we could still leave our houses. And Annie went out somewhere, and I don't know where it was, but she went out somewhere, and she texted me and was like, do you want a Starbucks? And I was like, yeah, sure, that'd be nice. Annie gets all the way home, opens the door, and drops the Starbucks while she's standing in the doorway. Not mine, but her own. Yeah. She made it literally all the way to the door and then dropped, and it was all it was up the wall. It was everywhere.
Honestly, there was probably little
there was a sip left in the cup, and she was like, I made it all the way here. It was so funny, and I was literally all the way.
I came all the way from up the road.
I
made it far.
You made it far.
I made it through the first door, the second door.
Yeah, because we have to get in 2 doors to actually get to our door.
Yeah. I unlocked the door fine.
Yeah, and she walked, literally it was slow motion for me watching, because she unlocks the door. She's holding one on top of the other in one hand while she's unlocking and opening the door. Yeah. Takes literally one step in, and it just tumbles off. Over. And, it just went,
if I did that again, I would just place the drinks on the floor and then open the door. Yeah. And then maybe call you.
Yeah. We learned from our mistakes.
But yeah, and a step in the door and it's just up the wall. Yeah. Stevie's trying to lick it.
Yeah. Stevie tries to lick anything that drops on the floor.
Oh, if you drop food, she'll dart.
There was some, bad kale yesterday that I was throwing away, and I dropped a piece of it, and she literally had to pry her mouth open and have her spit it out.
Or she went in your room and she ate freaking chicken thigh.
Oh, my God. She ate a whole chicken thigh from my room because I had half eaten my dinner. Yeah. And all I had left was one chicken thigh. Yeah. And we, went to change our laundry over, and I left my door open a little because this was before we had the AC. So it was, super hot, and I had the door open. Literally, she ate, and we're pretty sure, the amount of time it took us to go down and come back.
She must have ate the whole thing.
She had to have swallowed it. There's no way she even chewed it. No.
And then, because you hear horror stories about dogs eating chicken bones. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? You're Googling, I'm, having a panic attack. I'm sticking my fingers down her throat. Yeah. I'm like, just throw up. And you're like, don't throw up. Because you don't throw up.
I can't. I don't throw up.
So I'm literally trying to make her throw up, but...
And she's like...
and then I'm like, come on, you can do it.
Don't. I was like, I can't.
Thankfully, she was perfectly fine. I called the vets, and they were just like, just let it pass. Yeah. And she eventually pooped it out. I don't know.
Did she?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. I don't know how it didn't hurt anything. There was no blood or anything. She was fine. But that was a good size chicken thigh.
Yeah, she's wild.
And when we've gone around the back, people kind of chuck their garbage. Yeah. And she always darts for the food.
She just tries to eat it.
Always.
I don't understand.
Literally always. But yeah.
Yeah. Even, I guess we both have a thing with, like, dropping things or, like, being klutzy, I guess. Is that a word?
Clumsy?
Yeah. Like clumsy or klutzy? Is klutzy a word?
I don't know. I know clumsy is.
Judah's parents were nice enough to give us an AC.
Oh my god.
For the summer. And Judah came over to, like, help us put it in. And he brings the AC. And both Judah and I are inside the house. And the AC is in the window.
Yeah.
And I put my arm on the AC. And we have to now lift the window. And Judah's like, okay, but we have to do something because it's going to fall out the window. If I lift the window's holding it. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I've got it. With my arm on the other side of the AC. Judah opened the window and the AC
flew out. flew out. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry.
Immediately, like, sorry. I'm so sorry.
I also hate, I was watching this happen also, because I was sitting at the dining table. I don't like tension, and I could just feel Judah just looking at you, because he had said, wait. Let's just figure this out first. You're like, no, I got it. I'm good.
I was like, no, it's fine. I got it. And he goes, are you sure? And I'm like, no, I got it.
Yeah. He's like, okay.
I did not have it.
You did not have it. And then he just looked at you like, I'm like, I'm going to go.
And now it's funny, but in the moment it was not funny.
It wasn't funny because now we have an AC.
Now we had to pay for an AC. But, like, also, like, it would have been fine, but I was standing on the cord as it fell out the window. So the cord that causes the power was ripped from the AC as it fell out the window. Yeah. Also, thankfully, we live on the ground floor.
Could you imagine if we were on the third floor and that fell on someone?
Imagine.
Is that, what do you call it, manslaughter?
Yeah, they would have died.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we're on the ground floor. But, like, yeah. And then we were just like, and then immediately, like, we took it out of the, like, Judah brought it back in. He goes out, like, he doesn't say anything, and, like, I feel
good
like
for him.
That's worse, because, but, like,
to be fair, because he kind of reacted in a really good way, because you were already feeling terrible.
Yeah.
And him just being like, I told you so in that moment, or being like, what?
Yeah.
He was just super calm, and I'm like, oh.
We were just, like, standing, and I just immediately went, I'm so sorry. And he just, like, he just, like, takes a deep breath, and then he goes, well, I'll go get it from outside, I guess. And he, like, goes outside, and then the cord is outside, detached from him.
Yeah.
And he just, like, picks it up and just goes,
well,
and literally tosses it in the window and carries the AC back in. And then we're just like, I didn't know what to do. And then, so then I'm just, like, calling, like, places to try and get them to fix the AC. Yeah, now we have a new AC.
Thankfully, we found a really cheap one from Walmart.
Yeah, thankfully we were able to find one for a decent price and everything, and we split on it, but we could have had it
for free one.
And then, flash forward to, like, a week or two later, I think not even 2 weeks later, it came pretty quickly, our AC.
Yeah.
Flash forward to that, and we're, like, unboxing the new one, and Annie goes, yeah, maybe don't drop this one out the window. And it's just, like, silence, and I just don't say anything, and Judah goes, too soon. Too soon. And, I've learned from my mistakes. It will never happen.
It was a mistake. Like, this window is super heavy. Like, it kind of just falls. So it's very difficult to, like, hold a heavy AC also while trying to lift up the window.
Yeah, but I was only to hold the AC. Like, Judah was lifting the window on his own. All I had to do was hold the AC.
Stuff happens.
And I was like, the reason I was so confident is because at my home, like my hometown house, like we put the AC in the second floor of our house every year and have no problems with it. So I was like confident that I had this AC.
Yeah.
And I did not.
It kind of like tipped out because we have a high window ledge, so I think also when you like let go a bit, it just full on teetered off because of the weight distribution.
Yeah. It
just slid down.
And then I like told my grandma about the story because we always put the AC in together in my home. So I told her about it, and she was like, as soon as I told her, I dropped out the window. She was like, "Oh, Shayna." And I was like, thanks. You're making me feel so much better about the situation.
And it's also still sitting in our apartment.
Yeah, we don't know if we're gonna like get it fixed yet, or if like we're just gonna scrap it because it's pretty old now. But then we spent like a good couple hours like trying to reconnect it.
Yeah.
Because it's literally just the wires have been pulled out, so like it's just been disconnected.
Someone could fix that.
Yeah, like it should be pretty easy to fix. The insides we're pretty sure are still good because it's not like it fell from a super like high.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like it's just whether it's like worth getting it fixed or not at this point.
Yeah, because if you're just spending more money on actually fixing it.
Yeah.
And if it's a lost cause.
Yeah. So like Annie has some issues with dropping things, but like her dropping things is like $5 drinks from Starbucks, and my things are like $300 ACs at West
just
apparently. So
yeah, I don't think I've ever dropped anything expensive other than like phones. I'm quite clumsy with that. I dropped my laptop a fair few times, to be fair.
Yeah, but you've never had to like get it replaced because you dropped it, right?
No.
Yeah.
I like even growing up, like I used to have a Nintendo DS. Who didn't? Loved it.
I didn't.
I
didn't get one until I was an adult.
I loved them. Like, and I had a Game Boy before that. So
also didn't.
Ellie, bless her, she gets very, very angry when she loses a game. So when she would lose, she would chuck it across the room. What happens? It breaks. Yeah. So then she would take mine. So
interesting.
Yeah, she would just take mine. She'd be like, "Can I borrow it?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. You can borrow it." And then she wouldn't give it back for 2 weeks. And then I'd be like, "Can I have it back?" She's like, "I lost it."
But she didn't actually?
She didn't actually. It was just in her room. And then she, again, got angry, lost the game, probably at Donkey Kong. And then chucked it, broke it, and then gave it back.
When it was already broken.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? She would break everything.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. I've lost jewelry a couple times.
Oh my god.
But like not like I don't buy hella expensive jewelry. Like I was given a ring by my ex that I lost twice.
Do you have it now?
Yeah. But he replaced it for me the first time.
Bless him.
And then I lost it again. I was like, I can't. He can't replace it again. So
do you think I could tell the story about the time that I came into your place and he was wearing all blue things? I don't think he'll mind.
He doesn't get, like...
I don't think he'll mind. But, like, I came into your place. What was happening? Was I picking you both up or was I just popping in?
I think he was leaving and then you were picking me up for us to hang out.
Yeah. So I come in. This man is wearing a Blue Jays t-shirt, a Blue Jays hat, and I think he's also wearing, like, matching socks.
Yeah, socks or, like, slides or something like that.
And I have very sarcastic and dry humor. And I'm like, "Oh my god, Nick, I can't tell if you like the Blue Jays." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, you know what? I really like them."
He's like, "Yeah, so they're like my favorite team." And I'm like, she's being sarcastic. You're wearing all Blue Jays stuff.
Bless him.
Yeah, it just went straight over his head. But
to be fair, I have very like British sarcastic humor. Like sometimes even with like the stuff I say to you, it kind of goes over your head. You're better at it now.
Yeah.
But I think before you're like, are you being serious?
Yeah. there's still times that I think that with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm like, no, I'm just joking. Like, I'm just being sarcastic. And then when you say you're joking or you're being sarcastic, then it just ruins the joke.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I've been like, wait, are you being... And you're like, I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah. The only other really, like, sarcastic person I know is Britt. Like, she just instantly... She'll, like, play off of that, and she'll say something sarcastic back.
Yeah.
But you have good humor. You don't think you're funny, and I think you're very funny.
I don't think I'm that funny.
No, you're very funny.
Well, thanks.
Do you hear that bass?
Yeah, I think they're doing, like, drilling into the ground and stuff. I hate it.
It
I
rattles.
hate the drilling. Most of the construction noises aren't too bad. The biggest things that bother me are the drilling into the ground because it's, like, so deep and, like, in your head. Like, you know what I mean? And then the fucking drag racers on Yonge Street.
They were doing that last night.
It pisses me off so much.
They were doing it, like, 3 in the morning. I'm like, oh, please.
I was still awake at 3 last night.
I think you sent me something.
Maybe.
Or no, I
Judah
had posted something on my story and you instantly were like, you watched it.
I'm
like, you're up.
Yeah. Yeah, I was, and I don't hear it if I'm, like, still awake, because usually I have my headphones on, and I'm on Discord or something, but, yeah. If I'm trying to sleep, I hate it.
I don't like noise when I sleep. I like white noise. Like, I usually leave my fan on, because I can't sleep in complete silence.
Oh, I can.
I can sleep in complete darkness. I can't in silence.
I can.
You can?
Yeah.
Doesn't bother you?
No. I can sleep in complete silence or with a fan. But if it's too loud, I just hate it.
True.
Or stomping bothers me.
Yeah, I feel like that links back to, like, childhood stuff.
Probably.
Because loud noises bother me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, the other day when the man threw her bike out the...
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know what was happening, but I was in my bedroom, and I think you were in the living room.
Yeah.
Can't remember what time it was, but I heard, get out! Or, like, what did she say?
Yeah, she was basically, like, saying, like, yeah, get out.
Get
like,
out
she's just,
or
like,
something.
yelling, get out. And then she threw, and then we just, like, heard banging, kind of. And then Annie immediately is in the hallway next to our door, and I'm in the living room, but I had ordered food, and Annie locks the door. I'm like, no, my Uber Eats is here.
She's here.
And then, so Annie's like, oh, so I had to, like, unlock the door, and I, like, open the door, and I, like, look out, and there's just, like, a bike in the hallway. Like, somebody had, like, thrown, it was very much implied that it was a couple. And then because she was being like, fuck you, get out, like, and all this. And he goes, what are you doing? And the bike's just, like, in the hallway. And I, like, opened the door to see, like, to meet with my Uber Eats person, but also to see what was going on. And the bike's just, like, in the hallway, and I'm, like, looking at it. And then all of a sudden I turn around, and my Uber Eats ladies, they're just, like, holding my food at me and, like, here you go.
What's going on? Welcome to our apartment.
Yeah. I was like, thanks. And she goes, hope your night goes well. And I was like, thanks.
Yeah, I think they're the only people on the floor that are constantly having an issue. Honestly, regular night in Toronto.
This happens, like, every few weeks. We have, like, a situation like this, and we're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's
usually an issue.
Yeah.
But that also reminds me, like, because I have a lot of, like, encounters like that on the actual subway.
Yeah.
I think I've told you this before. Where I was coming home from work once, and there's a usual guy that everyone knows him, he's blind.
Yeah.
And he's blind. We don't really know if he's blind. I don't think he is.
Oh.
He goes up and down, and he, like, asks for money, and he quite violently asks for money. Gets, like, yells in your face.
Yeah.
Listen, I would give people money if I carry cash. I don't carry cash.
Same.
At all. I never do. But I have this spot, well, I used to when I was coming home from work, at the very, very end, you know, like the bar where you can lean across?
Where?
It's like is it called a conductor?
Who?
The man who drives the subway.
Oh, yeah.
So it's at the very end.
The subway.
Yeah. And there's like this like resting back, so I'm like facing down the subway so I can see him coming.
Yeah.
And then every rule is you do not make eye contact. Mm-hmm. What do you think I did? Direct eye contact. He spotted me. He's now walking very aggressively towards me.
Yeah.
He's got a limp.
Yeah.
So he's limping towards me. So he comes up, he's like, hey, do you have money? I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't. Like, I don't have any cash. And he's like, you're lying. And I'm like,
you're like, sir.
I'm like, sir, I'm not lying. I don't have any cash. And he's like, you're a bitch.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, that's unnecessary. There's also a man standing beside me. He's getting closer to me because he thinks that this guy is going to get violent. Mm-hmm. He slowly raises his cane at me. And he smacks the shit out of my kneecap.
Oh.
Like, smacks the absolute daylight out of my kneecap. Everyone in the subway just turns.
Nobody does anything.
No one does anything because it's Toronto. This is like a normal thing. Except for the guy, the really, very handsome. Mm-hmm. He's probably like 40. And he's like, whoa, you don't do that, buddy. You don't hit her. And then he's like, I'll do whatever I want.
Oh my gosh.
Then I'm not going to say he calls me the C word.
Oh.
Yeah. Right in my face.
Word.
Spits on the floor. And then he goes...
He didn't spit on you.
He didn't spit on me. He wanted to, I think. And then he goes to hit me again with the cane.
Yeah.
And then the man grabs the cane. The bystander grabs it. The doors open to the subway. He chucks it out. So then he has to run off and get his cane. Yeah. He then comes running back to the doors and they close in time.
Okay.
And I'm like, thank you so much. And he's like, is your knee okay? I'm like, I think so. Massive bruise.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you were assaulted.
Yeah, but who isn't on a day like that on the subway? Usually it's just verbal. I've never actually been like physically injured.
Yeah.
Also, there's no point in getting the police involved.
Yeah, there's not really much that they can do in that situation. And, like, what are you going to do? Press charges on a homeless man?
Yeah.
Speaking of homeless men. Annie used to live, like, can I say the intersection?
Yeah.
Annie used to live at, like, Yonge and Wellesley. And I mean, at one point I was living there, but also I used to spend a lot of time at Annie's place. Yeah. And we got off the subway one time together, and it was like later at night. And like like Annie said, like we don't ever carry cash, and usually if a homeless person is coming up to you, they're either asking for food or like, and if I don't have it, I don't have it, so I can't give any. But like we've given before. Mm-hmm. That's besides the point. But. So there's this guy, and he's sitting in the corner of, like, this one area near Annie's place. And we always have to walk, like, what's that? What do we have to go up? Yonge Street. We'd have to go up Yonge Street and then off to the side a little bit. So we're on Yonge Street. Yeah. And on Yonge Street, there's all these, like, little shops. And in one of these, like, doorways of this, like, shut down shop, this man is like... standing / like kneeling, like he's like in this area. Yeah. And we walk past, and like he said, and I couldn't really understand what he had said, and I thought he had said, hey, do you have any money or something? And I said, no, sorry, like I don't have, like I just said no, sorry. And then like we just kept walking. And then Annie's like, oh my gosh. And she's like laughing. And I was like, what? And she goes, that man just asked you to suck his dick and you said no, sorry. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what did he actually say?
He said, I think, you must have thought, can you give me some money or something? But he said, can you suck my dick?
Yeah. And he was like, partially
his dick was out.
Yeah. But I just assumed like that he was asking for money when I couldn't really understand what he had said. Yeah. So I also had one headphone on, so I couldn't hear it fully, so I just assumed that he was asking for money, and then I was like, no, sorry. And then we just like kept walking, and then Annie was like, oh my god, that man just asked you to suck his dick. And I was like, wait, what? And you were like, yeah.
And you kindly declined.
And I was just like, no, sorry.
Maybe another time. I have to go.
Yeah,
Or when you came up and you visited me in Cassidy once, and there was a homeless man dancing in the intersection.
Yeah, and then he just laid down.
He just laid down.
And
you're like, is anyone?
I'm like, and nobody's paying him any attention. And I was like, is anybody else noticing? And you're like, yeah, it happens all the time. You're just like, just keep going.
Just ignore it.
Okay.
Or when you like came into the guy that sits at Young and Dundas, the Believe guy. You know which one I'm talking about? There's like a man and he hands out pamphlets.
Yeah.
And he goes, Believe.
Yeah.
He's quite interesting.
Yeah. I try to be like as nice as possible to them, so I'm just like, oh, sorry, I don't have anything, and because I never really carry cash, so
yeah, I always try to, but I I just don't carry a lot of cash.
Yeah.
If anything, like I'll usually from work I'll have extra food that I bring home.
Yeah.
So I'll usually just, do you want like this sandwich or do you want this drink? Sometimes they go no.
Yeah.
He's like, I want money. I'm like, I don't know. Do you want a sandwich or not?
Yeah.
Like, are you hungry?
Or like there's a guy that sits outside our grocery store that we go to.
He's lovely.
Sometimes, and he's nice, and we like get him Starbucks sometimes and give him that, and he's always very pleasant.
Yeah. I usually, when I go to the convenience store, when I get winnings, I'll usually just give him the winnings.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't eat them.
Yeah, it's like extra for you.
But yeah, a lot of stuff like that happens on the subway. Like even when I told you that woman that was dancing down the subway.
Yeah, the subway's a wild place. There's always a story when you've been on the subway.
Oh, there's always a... Didn't you get your bag stuck in the subway once? Was it you?
Yeah. Oh, that's another embarrassing thing. Like, went back when before COVID, and people would like pack onto it.
Yeah.
I had like stepped on, and then somebody had stepped backwards after I had stepped on, like towards the door.
Right.
So I was inside the door, and then they stepped back. So then I had to step back. So I'm like on the edge of this door, but my bag is outside the door, and then the door's closed on my gym bag. So my gym bag is like half outside the door, and I couldn't get it in. Like I was like pulling, couldn't get it in. This man had to like grab onto my bag and like yank it in, and I was like, thank you so much. And he was like, you're welcome. But yeah, and it wouldn't have happened. It's just that person that I stepped on, like there was room, but then she stepped backwards. So like I had nowhere to go. Like I had to step back, but I still didn't I wasn't getting off the train. So yeah,
thankfully there's always people like that on the subway though that are nice and they help you out.
Yeah,
there's some that just kind of look and stare.
Yeah,
and they're like, sucks.
Yeah,
I have to go to work.
Yeah.
But what's another one from your list?
Oh, do you want to talk about breaking down on the side of the road?
Oh my god,
do you remember that?
I have so my first car, it was a VW Golf.
Yeah.
My mom called it a little runner around. So it was cheap. Like it was expensive cheap, you know? Like a car's still a lot of money. But it was secondhand. It was decent running at the time when I got it.
Yeah.
How long did I have this car for? Honestly,
you hadn't had it for that long at this point. Because it was like we were 16. We hadn't even turned 17 yet. So you had like just gotten.
I had just gotten this car. No. Because I got the car.
No, we were 17.
We were 17 because I got the car as a graduation present.
Yeah, and you had just gotten your G2.
Yeah, and this was the summer that this happened.
Yeah, so this was like a few months after you got it.
So where were we going? What beach was it?
We went to Coburg Beach.
We went to Coburg Beach. So
which was a chaotic day to begin with.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was you, Sydney, Nick, and myself who went together.
Yeah, we went in one car, but then didn't we meet up with other people?
Yeah, we met up with a bunch of other people, and then that was a day.
Yeah.
But then
it was just us driving in the car.
Yeah.
Just to say before, this car had an issue with getting too hot. So when it would get too hot, it would stop working.
Yeah, but we didn't know that. Like, you might have known that, but none of us knew that.
It didn't happen, a lot. It would get really hot, but it would never turn off.
Yeah.
I could feel it heating up. So, We were
also,
driving.
keep in mind, we went to the beach for the day.
Yeah.
So it was sitting in a parking lot in the heat all day.
All day.
And then Annie was like, we were planning on staying like quite a while, but then Annie was like, oh, like I have to be home. Like she had like a curfew type thing. So then we were like, okay, like that's fine. Like she was our ride. So we were like, we leave when you leave. Like whatever works. So we left before everybody else left as well. We were like the first group to like leave.
I want to say we left at 3 or 4.
Yeah, we left
because we left when there was traffic.
Yeah, but we left before traffic, and then on top of what you're gonna find out happened, there was an accident on the highway that we were taking home. So the highway was backed the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like so much. Like we were bumper to bumper, like going super slow. It was like a hot day, so we had the AC running in the car. Like it was like...
And it was the 401 West or something?
Yeah. And then, I don't know, it was the 115.
I think it was the 401.
Was it the 401?
I
only remember there being a few...
It was the 401 because there was 3 lanes.
Oh, was there?
It definitely wasn't the 115 or whatever highway it was, but it was a 3-lane highway.
Yeah.
Because we were in the middle lane.
Yeah. And
so,
also remember that curfew, Annie, like, had before we broke down, Annie called her mom to be like, I'm not going to be home when... you wanted me home. Yeah. Because she was like, we're bumper to bumper, like we're stuck in traffic. Because,
we're not getting home for a while.
And then it was them that told us that there was an accident, and that's why we're bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
So then
we're in the middle lane. Everything's going fine. We're just waiting, sitting in traffic. I can slowly feel the car to shake. The car is rattling. We're also blasting music. Is Sydney in the front seat?
Yeah, Sydney brought her MacBook with her.
Yeah, Sydney, she was the DJ, so she was playing our music.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the radio shuts off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Sid, does something happen to your phone? She's like, no. The radio itself is shut off. I'm like, oh my God, the battery is going.
Yeah.
And then...
And we're in the middle lane.
See, looking back, if I had instantly clocked that, I should have gotten into the other lane and then... pulled off to the side. But I'm like, this happens sometimes and it's fine.
Also, in your defense, like I said, all 3 lanes were bumper to bumper. I don't even know if you would have been able to move over.
Yeah.
Had you tried.
It was difficult. And then, so that went, and then, I don't know what it's called, the thermometer? Is that what it's called?
It's like
it's supposed to be in the middle. This shit went all the way to the right. I'm like, oh my God, there's another sign. So it's rattling, the radio's off, and then the thermometer's all the way to the right.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it just stops. We're not moving.
Yeah, we're in the middle lane.
The car behind me honks at me because I've obviously stopped abruptly.
Yeah.
We're also like, you know when you like turtle it, you're going very slow in traffic, so you're moving, but you're not kind of moving.
Yeah.
So...
You're basically like idling.
Yeah.
For a long time.
So we stop. I'm like... Fuck. I am not good in situations with pressure. I didn't cry, which I'm very proud of.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I think we thought it was so funny.
Which helped because I wasn't freaking out.
Yeah. Like we were just like we weren't like panicking or anything. We were just like laughing. Yeah. We thought it was so funny.
Also because Nick is a car guy. So Nick was like, he knew what was going on. So he was like, oh, this has happened. This is why this has happened. Yeah. He's like, it's okay. Calm down. He was like the one that was
basically was like, it's overheating.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I was like, maybe we should like lift the hood. And then he was like, if we lift the hood and it's too hot though, we could burn ourselves.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool.
Sick.
Yeah.
So I put my 4-ways on because we're in the middle lane. And now the traffic is moving. Literally, the time that we break down, my car is stopped and the traffic is moving.
Yeah.
So I'm holding up an entire
It's not moving
lane.
Like super fast,
but it's moving.
But it's still moving. Yeah.
So I'm in the middle lane. I'm holding up traffic. I'm like, I literally don't know what to do. I think either you or someone is called CAA.
I was like, you should call CAA.
Yeah.
I said, call your mom and then call CAA.
Yeah.
And while Annie was doing that, also, before, because we were like, we need to get to the side of the road.
Yeah.
And we were just like kind of waiting because we were like, do we ask somebody to help us? Because like we don't know if we can get to the side of the road.
Yeah, it's also dangerous to get out of on the road in the middle.
Yeah.
So we put the fort. Thankfully, this father and son, incredible people, literally stopped. They blocked their car. Or was it 2 people that did it? I think someone blocked so we had the right lane to move over.
Yeah.
And then they were behind us.
And helped us push.
They're like, all you have to do is put it in neutral and then you drive.
Yeah.
So, or steer.
Yeah.
So they got us to the side of the road. Literally, can't thank them enough. That helped so much.
Yeah. And then, like, while we were on the side of the road, like, we didn't know what was wrong, and like most people weren't able to like know what was wrong. So like a few people stopped and were like, "Do you need help?" And we're like, "We don't even know if we need help, or what we need help with."
And we're like, "We've called CAA, they're coming."
Yeah, and like Annie's on the phone with CAA or her mom, and I'm just like taking selfies with her.
You and Sydney are taking pictures.
And Sydney and I are just like taking pictures, and like I had brought food for lunch, and then we ended up buying lunch, so we had like leftover food that we were just like we literally had a picnic like on the side of the road while we waited.
Because we waited,
hours.
Like 2-3 hours.
We waited a long time.
Because the CAA truck, we also were in like the middle of kind of nowhere. Like, you know when you're in the highway and there's no like off-road? So I'm trying to explain to where I am. I'm like, I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
So I think they had to like track my location or something. I don't know. They found us somehow.
Yeah.
But they had to go around the accident that happened.
Yeah.
Eventually they came. It was all fine. And then I continued to have that car.
So they ended up picking up the car.
Yeah.
And then they take it to the nearest repair shop, right?
I think my mom had to come and get us.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like somebody came to pick us up.
I'm pretty sure that Jay and Mom came. And then my mom picked us all up, and then Jay went in the tow truck.
Yeah. I also was thinking, like, maybe my grandma came too, but I can't really remember what happened afterwards.
I can't remember what happened afterwards,
I have photos, though, of us on the side of the road.
But we got home safe. It was fine.
Did,
and then the car somehow worked for the rest of the summer. It happened, I broke down at Lansdowne.
Yeah.
In the middle of the intersection. Dead middle. I've broken down. A police goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Bro, I can't do anything."
You're like, "I'm stuck."
So then, again, he had to push my car off to the side, and then I'm in, you know where the Timmy's is?
Yeah.
I'm now in that parking lot.
That's where I used to work.
Yeah. So that's happened. It's happened a bunch. Like, I've had so many
Oh my God.
issues.
There was also one time where Annie was picking me up from work to hang out. And I get into the car and it started, but the power steering had gone, so she couldn't steer the car. And I'm like, she's like, "I can't move the steering wheel." And I was like, "What do you mean you can't move the steering wheel?" She was like, "I literally can't, like, it won't move."
It's stiff as shit.
So we were stuck in this parking spot.
Yeah.
And then we did eventually, like, she had to use, like, manual steering on this car.
I should not have been driving
to get home until Jay could fix the power steering on it.
And then it was fine.
But oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, but even on top of that, I wasn't a great driver then. Like, I was a bit of a chaotic driver.
Yeah.
Like, were you there when we stopped in front of the Chapters? We went to get Starbucks. Oh, were you there?
Is this when you almost hit the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were trying to play a prank on me.
So I was like moving, and when she was trying to get into the door, and I wasn't paying attention to the man walking in front of me. I thankfully didn't hit the man, but he then proceeded to throw his Starbucks drink on my hood.
Yeah.
I deserved that.
Yeah, I was like, that's karma.
I've never gotten in a car crash, though. I've never had a ticket.
Yeah, same. Like
but I don't
haven't had
I don't have much luck with cars.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, like all these things happen to you in your car. Like,
I have interesting luck.
I don't know how you haven't gotten a ticket. Annie speeds all the time.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know how you haven't gotten a ticket.
Even my mom says, like, you go too fast when you turn.
You just go fast.
I just rip it around.
Yeah. I think I am a good driver for the most part. I do notice, though, when I start to get tired.
Yeah.
I don't drive as well.
I feel safe in your car.
Thanks.
I don't feel safe in alleys.
Do you guys drive similarly?
Kind of. She just drives, like, a bit chaotic.
I would have said that about you at one point, too.
We both drive, like, a bit insane.
Yeah.
I still have so many.
That's okay. You can go.
So I have the date story.
Which date story? Oh, this date story. Oh my gosh, I know exactly.
This isn't embarrassing. It's just funny.
Yeah.
So let's call this guy Jake. So
Jake from State Farm?
Oh my god, it was Jake from State Farm. So he was like, let's go on a date.
Jake from State Farm.
Yeah. He was a Tinder guy. Or was it Bumble? I can't remember. Anyway,
You're on Hinge.
I am on Hinge, but it wasn't on Hinge at the time.
You're on all the apps.
She is.
Are you on Raya?
What?
Raya?
What's that?
It's the dating app for celebrities.
No, I'm not.
Maybe if this takes off, you will be.
You know who is on Raya?
Who?
Chris Evans.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
It's Chris Evans. I want to be on Raya.
So, what was I saying? So this was back when I was in university, when I was at the Toronto apartment, like at Yonge and Wellesley.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the beginning of 2018. Yeah, it definitely was. Fuck.
Wait, what month was it?
Oh my god, it was April.
Oh, okay.
Because the snow had just stopped.
Oh, okay.
And it was like the dreary kind of...
Yeah. Pathetic fallacy for
the story's so insane.
Where the story's going.
Oh my god. Okay. So he's like, we'll go get some ramen. I'm like, sick. I love ramen. So we went to the Kenzo's. The idea was we were going to go to Kenzo's, which is on Yonge Street, just around the corner from my house.
Yeah.
And he drove over, and he was going to leave his car in the basement. Like, you know, in the parking lot.
In the parking lot.
So I'm coming out, and then he picks me up, and then he's like, can we just go somewhere really quick before Kenzo's? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. He's like, I forgot something.
He said, I forgot something. Where did you weren't like, where?
I didn't really question it. He said I have to just go back, like, to where I, like, live. Because he was from Scarborough.
Yeah.
Also, this took place at a house.
Oh.
It was a house. So we pull up to his house, I assume. He's like, he must have just forgotten, like, a wallet or something. I still haven't questioned it. But then we pull up to this place. There's 12 cars. Parked up, like, along the side.
Yeah.
Big house, nice house.
Yeah.
So I get out. I'm also wearing, like, cute jeans and, like, a top, right?
Because you're going on a date.
Because I'm going on a date. Everyone's wearing black. So I'm like, okay, interesting. He still hasn't said anything.
Is he dressed in black?
No, he's dressed in like a dress shirt. Like
and
nothing
jeans.
crazy, in jeans.
Okay, so he's also dressed for a date.
Yeah, not like a suit and tie. So we start going into this house, and then there's a bunch of family members.
Wait, so you weren't like, oh, just go in and grab what you need and all?
No, he's like, he said, come with me.
Oh.
Because he's like, I might be like 15 minutes, he said. So I'm like, yeah, I'll come in. I don't want to wait in the car. So I come in. I still don't know what the hell's going on. So we walk into the living room. There's chairs everywhere. And there's people sitting at these chairs. And at the very front is an urn.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, I turn to Jake from State Farm. I'm like, what the fuck did you bring me into? And he's like, I told you we had to do something really quickly. I'm like, you took me to a wake. And I said, who is this person to you? He said, it's my cousin's wake.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, we literally could have done this date any other day. I would have been okay with it.
You're like, I'm free every other day this week.
Literally any other day would have been fine. So his whole family's there. His mom's there. His dad's
So you met the whole family.
His Nana's there.
On your first date.
Yeah.
At his cousin's wake.
At his cousin's wake in Scarborough. So he introduces me as his girlfriend.
Wait.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I just went with it. I'm not gonna like just. I'm literally in so much shock right now. I don't really know what to say. So I'm like, "Hi, nice to meet you, I'm Annie." And we have been talking like for about 3 or 2 weeks before we agreed to go on this date.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
So we were like cool.
Yeah, but like
we knew each other.
Apparently way cool in his.
I don't know what the hell he was thinking. So we stay here for about 20 minutes. I'm like, can we like go or should I was like, should I go? I'm like, I can go home. He's like, no, we're gonna go for ramen. He's also like being incredibly like upbeat, like not like upbeat where like he's like in a wake and then he's just being like a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he's still like he's not crying.
Like he's happy.
He's happy, like he's fine. So I'm like, oh my god, this guy's a psychopath.
He needed a date for the wake.
Yeah, literally a date for the wake. So we leave. We're there for like 20 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, bye, whatever. So then we drive back to my place. We park in my basement of my condo, and then we walk to Kenzo's. So we're eating. We got our food, and then about 15 minutes in to when we're eating, he starts crying.
No, he doesn't.
He starts crying.
No, he doesn't.
If anyone knows me, I do not like when people cry in front of me.
Oh my god.
I don't know how to comfort you. And he's crying. I'm like, oh my god, this is my worst nightmare.
Oh my god.
People are looking. He's like sobbing. He's not like crying. He's sobbing.
At ramen.
Like
you're sitting in the restaurant.
Yeah, we're sitting in the restaurant eating. And I think at this point it's registered. It's said in that he just took me to his cousin's wake.
Oh my gosh.
So he's crying. And then I'm like, okay, I need to like end this date because I hate everything. So I'm like, can we just get the bills? I pay for it because I feel so bad for this man.
Because he's just sobbing over his ramen.
He's literally sobbing. So then the date finishes. I pack up my ramen because I haven't finished it.
Yeah.
And then we walk back to my place. He wants to then come up. I'm like, no. Just get your car and go.
You said that.
Not like that. But like, I just didn't want to continue this.
Oh. I don't know. See, I don't have a lot of experience with dating.
Oh my god.
I do long-term dating. So, but I can't imagine what I would do if a man just brought me to
his cousin's wake.
His cousin wake on the first date.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny though.
So then he leaves, he takes his car and he jogs on, and then I don't talk to him ever again.
Did you ghost him?
No, I didn't ghost him. I just said I don't think
it's gonna work out.
That was a weird date, sir.
Oh, he needs to like deal with some stuff first.
Yeah. Maybe don't take someone to a wake on your first date.
I can't imagine being like, you know what's a good idea? I have to stop at my cousin's wake. So let's book a date on the same day.
Yeah.
And just bring her. Like, even if he was like, hey, I have to do something before I meet up with you.
Can we meet afterwards? Right.
Fine. But instead, he was like, nah, I'll just take her to the wake. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if he had told his family that we were dating.
And then was like...
And then they were like, oh, you should
bring her? The first time we meet her is at your cousin's wake.
They were lovely. Like, his family were lovely.
I mean, I'm sure they were. I don't doubt that they weren't, but...
But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I've never forgotten that date. So thank you, Jake.
You wouldn't, would you?
No.
Thank you, Jake from State Farm.
Thank you, Jake,
for that memorable date.
Kenzo's was good, though. I do highly suggest
You're like,
Kenzo's.
but you know what? Positive.
Kenzo's ramen for first date, good choice. If you like ramen.
I've never had ramen outside of when I've made it.
It's very nice.
So, I don't even know if the one I made was actually like...
It was good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it tastes good, but I don't know if it classifies as ramen.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
You had egg in it too, didn't you?
Yeah.
So.
Egg, noodles, lots of spices.
Yeah.
And then I do either meatballs, chicken, or steak with it.
But yeah, that is my date story.
That's so funny.
I definitely have like similar ones to like that where they're just weird.
Yeah.
But nothing's ever topped that.
Yeah.
I don't think anything ever will.
For date-wise?
For date-wise.
Yeah, that's a wild one right there. I don't know how I would handle that situation.
Yeah.
To be honest. If like even Judah and I's beginning of our relationship is a little different than most people's, I would say. But like even though we are friends, if he took me to a wake, I would be like,
"You good?
Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Like I would have thought of it like more as like not a date. Like it's like just him like being like, I need support in this situation. But
you'd think.
Judah and I were friends before we dated, so that's a bit more understanding to be like, I need somebody in this situation versus talking to somebody for 2-3 weeks and then being like, yeah, I need you to come to this awake.
And then let's go for food after.
Yeah. I don't really have any wild like dating stories because I've been in 2 long distance, or not long distance, but well, I did long distance in both of those relationships, but
yeah.
Both 2 long-term relationships, so I don't really go on dates. I mean, I went on dates with them, but like there's nothing like wild there.
Yeah.
Really, and to be honest, I'm kind of thankful for it. I don't think I'd like doing like dating.
It's fun. I enjoy it. When they're not dates like that.
Yeah, when they're like a normal date.
When they're a normal date. Just take me skating.
Skating?
Anything but awake.
Yeah. What's your ideal date?
Oh my god. See, if the other person had a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
Are we going like extravagant?
I mean, you can say both.
Okay, I'll do my bougie one.
Okay.
My bougie one would be to like...
This is like if she's married, if like she's dating somebody who like owns all the businesses.
Yeah, like a rich man.
Yeah.
Or a woman.
Yeah.
I would fly somewhere. They would fly me to the south of France.
Oh my gosh.
And then we would have like a cute little cafe, like a light brunch.
Yeah.
Overlooking the sea. I think that's so cute.
That's like a 3-day date though.
I know, I'm being like extra. My regular one is just like a picnic in a park. I think that's so cute.
Really? You want to do that much talking on your first date?
Yeah, that's what you do on dates.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not a movie kind of person on a date.
I don't like movies either. I mean, I like movies because I've been on long term, so we talk all the time anyway. So when we go to
like
movie,
a first date.
But for a first date, like it's not like my favorite. But like, I think if it's a movie and then like you do something afterwards where you can like talk, then it like gives you something to talk about, because then you can talk about whether you liked or disliked the movie and what you liked about and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that it's not just like, I mean, I'm not really awkward like when it comes to talking to people, but other people can be awkward.
Right.
So then to like not make them feel awkward, then it's like something that we can talk about that's not that, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I think concerts would be cool for a first date as well.
Expensive.
Yeah.
I wish you could go to like a cheap one.
You could go to a cheap show. Like I've been to like a comedy club for a date. That's always fun.
I think that would be fun.
At Yuck Yucks? Yeah, Yuck Yucks.
Oh, I've never
Yuck
been.
Yucks. Yeah. Yuck Yucks.
Yak Yaks?
I think
I
it's
like
Yuck
Yuck
Yucks.
Yucks better.
Is it Yuck? It's
I
either
don't
one
know.
of those. Super fun.
Yeah. Sorry. No embarrassing date stories here.
No.
One time I got invited to a friend's place for dinner, and I had to cancel that dinner because I couldn't go to school.
Right.
Do you remember this?
No.
I couldn't go to school that day because I had whiplash.
Are you telling this story?
I had whiplash because...
Yeah, tell me why.
Because I was masturbating.
All day?
No. Okay, so like, I don't know about you, but like when you orgasm, it makes you feel more awake.
Yeah.
So for me, oftentimes I would masturbate before I would get out of bed in the morning, and it would like help me wake up.
Put a little pep in your step.
Yeah. So it was just like a very nice start to my day.
Yeah.
So my body was on like, this was like in high school. So, you know, you're hornier than usual. So I would wake up like 15 minutes before my alarm would go off, masturbate, and then get out of bed.
Yeah.
Right? So, on this occasion, I was masturbating, and I had woken up later than I thought I had.
Right.
And my alarm went off at the same time that I was orgasmic.
Right.
So, and you know when you orgasm, your whole body goes like tense.
Mm-hmm.
So, that happened, and then when my alarm went off, it startled me, and I like whipped my head around while my body's like super tense.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was whiplash, because then I was like, ow, that hurt my neck. Like, my neck was like in a lot of pain, and then I was like, maybe I've just tweaked something, right, in my neck. And then I proceeded to, like, my alarm's going off, so I have to get out of bed, get ready for school. So I go to get up out of bed, and I faint. Like, I pass out. Like, and I was like, and my neck was really hurt. And then my grandma came upstairs because she heard me fall to the ground and was like, what's going on? Like, why are you on the floor and your alarm's still going off? And I was like, I think I have whiplash. And she was like, how did you get whiplash? I did not tell my grandma that I was masturbating. No. So I was like, I was asleep and the alarm startled me so much that I whipped my head around and I tweaked it. So then she was like, okay, well, like, I don't know what to tell you. And I couldn't move my head. Yeah. Like, I literally could barely move my neck. I was in so much pain. And she brought me, like, a heat pad to put on my neck. Yeah. And then I was, like, going between, like, ice and heat. And I was, like, going back and forth between that all day. And I took Tylenol, but I couldn't go to school that day, which meant that I couldn't go to this dinner that I was invited to at this friend's place. Yeah. So then she's so sweet. She brought me a dinner in, like, a little takeout box. Oh, that's sweet. And brought me a Blizzard, and she was like, are you okay? Like, because I had said I was sick. Yeah. Because I was like, what am I going to say? Like, sorry I can't come to your house for dinner. I masturbated too hard and now I have whiplash. Like, what? So I had to I just told her I was sick, and she brought me dinner, and she brought me a Blizzard from DQ and everything, and it was very sweet. And then, like, the next day, like, another friend of mine gave me, like, because I had to go to school the following day. It was better, but my neck was still, like, fucked up. Yeah. And then she gave me, like, some of her T3s.
And you were fine?
I was high off my ass for the whole day. Like, I was whipping my neck around. I was like, oh, this is great. Like, I don't feel anything. Of course, those T3s wore off, and then my neck was like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. But, yeah, so God. Yeah. Masturbated too hard and got whiplash.
I love that story. I think it's so funny.
It's like, I can't believe I did it. I haven't done it since.
Thank God.
I've had better orgasms with people since then. Yeah. But I am very careful now to not just whip my head around in the middle of an orgasm. Like, yeah.
God.
Yeah. It was intense. Like, I couldn't believe that, like, and, like, the only thing I had known about whiplash was that, like, your neck really hurts and then you pass out. And I had both of those.
And you 100% had that.
Yeah. That's exactly what. And then my neck was just so, like, I couldn't move my neck pretty much, like, at all. Like, for a bit. Yeah. Yeah. So.
I love that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure to this day my grandmother, I mean, like, how would she know that?
Yeah, that's not your first thought.
Yeah. So, I have never and probably will never tell her that that's what actually happened and how I got whiplash. Because I was like, oh, people get whiplash from, like, being in car accidents and stuff. So I was like...
Yeah.
Sure, like when it first happened, you hear it, like crack.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, and then you try and move your neck and you can't. And then it really fucking hurts.
That story is so funny.
Haven't done it since, so
No.
we learned from that. But
I haven't had anything like that, thankfully.
I would say most people probably haven't had anything like that.
No.
But let me know. Send me a message, make me feel better if you have had something like that.
Yeah, my God.
Because I have, still to this day, I haven't met somebody who has had that happen to them.
No. I have a story. I'm not going to tell. It's the...
Oh, your hip?
Yeah. I'm not going to go into that.
Okay.
That's too much, I think.
Yeah, so that was,
That's intense.
Yeah.
Oh, I have another good one.
Okay.
So you, me, and Cass... Oh, no, Cass didn't end up going. It was the night at Cruise and Tangos.
Oh my god. Wait, this was embarrassing or funny?
It was funny.
Oh, I had a great time.
It was a great night.
Yeah.
It was a gay bar. I think they're closing now.
Oh, yeah, I think they've closed down.
They're putting up a condo in the spot.
Yeah, I think because also COVID, like, they weren't getting
enough funds for rent.
Yeah.
But it was drag night.
I love it.
So much fun. I, at this point, was about 6 whiskey sours in.
Well, we even started, like, before we even got to the club, we were pre-drinking and we were lit. There's literally a video of Annie and I in the bathroom at Cassidy's place.
We were in there so long. People thought that we were, like, making out. Like, what were you doing?
We're
taking pictures.
We were just taking pictures and laughing at each other. And I don't know how they couldn't hear us. I don't talk quietly.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm drinking. There's a part where I'm flexing in the mirror. And Annie goes, "Oh my god, look at that. Are you a trainer?" I'm like, I am.
Yeah. So we were completely wasted.
Yeah, before we even left.
And when I got there, I just kept reeling in the drinks. So I go to the bathroom. I can't remember if someone came with me.
Margaret,
I think, came with me.
And I went with you.
So the stairs down to the bathroom is super sketch.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It's just like a heavy drop down.
I vaguely remember. I just remember them being super steep.
Super steep, and I could not see. I just couldn't
see.
I was just so
drunk that everything
so
was...
drunk. So there's 3 stalls. We were all peeing at once.
There was 2 stalls.
Was there 2?
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I kinda. But we didn't pee at once. You and I peed at once?
Yeah, and then because one of the toilet was broken.
Yeah.
There was 3 stalls, but one of them was broken.
Yeah.
Also, the stall that I went into had no door.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Margaret
and I waited out in front of the one. You were in the stall with no door.
Yeah.
And then there was a stall next to it with a door, and we were just leaning up against the door.
Yeah.
While you were peeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a unisex bathroom. Everyone was just in there.
There was 10 people in that bathroom.
It was crowded, and I was full on peeing with just no door.
Yeah.
And people were just watching me pee.
Yeah.
Just like a casual Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people were also doing drugs.
I'm pretty sure there was people doing cocaine across the bathroom on the counter.
Because there was on a ledge. Was there even a sink?
There was one sink and then a bit of counter space, and they were next to the counter. So we were washing our hands,
and they were just doing coke.
just doing coke next to us.
I was asked if I wanted coke.
Yeah,
so much.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, I'm okay.
Not for me.
I will probably die if I have a line of coke.
Really?
My heart will just burst.
Heart? I don't have any desire to do it. Plus, I was already lit so much off the alcohol that I was I don't need anything else in my system.
No, I love that bar so much.
It was really
so
fun.
much fun.
It was really fun, yeah. Plus, Margaret is a fun time. We had a great time with Margaret that night. There was and I forget her name.
I can't remember her
Emma?
name.
Is it Emma?
Maybe.
There was another friend. that was there. And these were, like, friends that Cassidy knew from Toronto. And then I had just met them that night.
I think I did as well.
Yeah, and then one of them, like, disappeared at one point in the night. Don't know where she went.
Went home.
Yeah, and then but the rest of us had a banging time. That was the first time I had gone to, like, a drag show as well.
They're fun.
It was really fun. And then, like, Margaret, like, was, like, hyping me up, like, all night. Like, yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
I can't wait for them to open again.
Yeah. I really also, like, at the time, needed that. Because I was, like, going through some stuff.
You were going through your breakup.
Yeah.
Or a break.
Yeah, I was, like, on a break. We were on a break.
So
I just needed to, like, go out and have a good time and get drunk.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. Yeah.
I don't think I was high.
No. I don't know. Because you didn't smoke before we went. And then we drank.
I can't remember if I smoked there.
I don't think you did. Because I was with you, like, the whole time.
Yeah.
Because, like, anywhere, like, if Annie went to the bar, I went to the bar. If Annie went to the stage, I went to the stage. If Annie went to the bathroom, I went to the bathroom. Like, I just went with Annie, and then Margaret was with me. Like, we just, like, followed each other. Like, and then I think, what's her name stayed with the other girl at certain times.
Yeah.
And then when she left, then she was also with us. Like, pretty much the rest of the time.
It was a very fun night.
It was a really fun night. I spent too much money that night.
Oh, yeah, because you tip them.
I was just giving away my
please,
money.
Just take my money.
Yeah. So, like, it was fun, though. I had, like, a really good time. And then I was litty that night, and we came back to Annie's apartment, and we had gotten McDonald's.
God.
And I was, like dancing around Annie's, like, living room on this couch that we're sitting on. And I was, like, standing on the couch, like, dancing, eating my burger while singing to 5 Seconds of Summer.
Yeah.
Annie, like, took a video, and I don't know if you posted or sent it to Keisha, and then Keisha was like, I love this for her. I love that she's living her best life right now.
I was completely out of it.
I was like singing at the top of my lungs. I was so lit.
Oh.
It was really fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely miss, like, nights like that.
Yeah, same.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, I'm excited for, like, Snakes and Lattes to open too.
Snakes and Lattes.
Snakes and Lattes. I've had some good times at Snakes and Lattes. And, like, do you like pool?
Yeah, I like pool.
There's, like, a place in Scarborough that we used to go to called Corner Bank, and we've been there a few times that we really like. And, where did we go? Oh, Jappa's. Jappa's was where Judah and I first kissed.
Yeah.
We like Jappa's, too, because you can get 3, like, liqueur shots.
Yeah.
For, like, cheap.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, we used to go and get 3 different ones. Like, we'd all get 3 of the same. So, you'd order 3 of the same, and then you'd mix them with other people's.
Yeah.
So, you'd swap out. So, you'd have 3 different shots that you could take.
I sometimes think it's easier being a girl as well, because you will just get drinks given to you.
Yeah.
Like, if you just chill around the bar, someone will come and be like, hey, you want a drink? I'm like, yes.
It's a little different for me, because I'm in a relationship.
You can accept a drink, though.
Yeah, but, like, it doesn't happen as often. Like, guys don't come up and
because you're with a guy.
Because I'm with, yeah. So, it doesn't really happen. But if I'm out with, like, girls, then it tends to happen a bit more.
True.
Or, like, I'm offered more. But to be fair, I don't really drink. Like, usually I drink a lot before I go out, so I don't have to buy drinks.
Smart.
So, because it's expensive.
They just happen a lot for me at concerts.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
I go to a lot.
Yeah, I don't go to that many. I go to the ones that I want to, and, like, that's it.
The ones that I want to.
Like, Niall Horan, One Direction, 5 Seconds of Summer.
Oh my god, yeah, One Direction. See, I have a story linked with that, and I don't know if I should share it.
Wait, which one?
The first One Direction concert I went to. So I was 14.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it and then we can cut it if we want to.
Okay.
But, so you're 14, they're probably what? They're 17?
Yeah, maybe like 18 or 19 at the time. 18?
So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my god, this is my one shot.
This is my one shot as a 14-year-old to get with this 19-year-old man.
Yeah. I'm like, they're gonna fall in love with me. So I completely shave.
Oh But that was the way it was, though.
That's the way people did it.
Yeah, like, you would shave your whole body and, like, dress cute.
Yeah.
And, like, make sure you weren't on your period. Like, stuff like that.
Because you're like, oh my God, they're going to, like, see me in the crowd and just want
When
to
you're
take
14,
me back.
like, you haven't had sex yet, even.
No, you're
No.
14, you are a child.
Yeah.
Also, when you're that young, you don't even have that mindset thinking that it's wrong, that they're an adult,
Yeah.
and you're a minor.
Yeah.
Now thinking back, I'm like, you are sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are a sick child.
But at the time, like, they're the love of your life at that moment. Like, at the age of 13 and 14, like, there's no other man in your life.
No, it is.
But your favorite
Harry
member
Styles.
of One Direction. Like,
Completely.
yeah, like, so, like, I get it to an extent. Also, like, it never happened. Like, it would never happen. In our minds, it was like, that's your chance. That's your opportunity. Yeah. But in reality,
it would never happen.
It would never happen.
You're a child, so why would an 18-year-old boy want to be with a 14-year-old?
He's sick if he wants to be with a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But I did that.
But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was in a relationship and I still did that. When we were like 17 going to the concert.
Oh, I did it again at the concert because I'm like, now I have a chance.
You're like, now I'm an adult.
Kind of.
God, at 17.
Still 17.
Yeah, we're like also like we would we would like see people who would come in like merch and be like, wow, you didn't like dress cute to meet the boys.
You're just wearing merch.
Like,
even when we went to the Five Sauce concert, everyone would wear plaid
and then black ripped jeans and like yeah. Or like a plain t-shirt with the flannel.
Yeah.
I remember Annie and I had a conversation before we went to university, and it was like the summer before we were talking, and you were like, yeah, I got some like new outfits because like I just don't want to be the person I was in high school. I'm like, yeah, same. And then like literally, you want to know what those new outfits were? Black ripped jeans, flannels, and plain band t-shirts. That was, and combat boots.
Oh my God.
Those were our being different people outfits.
Oh God, like in 2013, 2014, I was very much a product of edgy Tumblr.
Yeah, I was more like flower crowns.
Yeah, you were that opposite side, like
patterned shorts.
Because I listened to a lot of like 1975, The Neighborhood, all that.
I was very like pop.
Yeah.
Like I listened to One Direction. That's about it. At the time.
One Direction.
Like I just listened to pop music mostly, and then Tumblr. I was like on Tumblr like here and there, but like or like, do you remember when you used to cut your shirts? Like you'd get like a plain shirt and then you would cut them, and then they'd just be like strings at the bottom. That's what I did.
So many people do that for dances.
Yeah.
Where they'd cut little strings in them, or they tie them around the back.
Oh my God, yeah, and there would just be a lump at the back of your shirt.
That was a huge thing actually with people with uniforms. They'd want them so tight.
Yeah.
They tied them at the back and then covered a ponytail with it and then tucked it under.
To be fair, uniforms were fucking ugly.
The uniforms were trash.
Yeah.
What was it, forest green?
Yeah, forest green,
beige?
navy blue, beige. Yeah.
Did you have a favorite combo?
Oh my God. First 2 years of high school, all I wore, you know this, beige pants and a green sweater. I wore that sweater so much that the cuffs on the sweater started
loose.
to rip apart.
Yeah.
Because I was just cold all the time. So that's what I wore all the time.
Yeah.
A sweater. And most of the time, no shirt on under the sweater. It was just the sweater. Like, I wouldn't even... no bra, no shirt. Like, it was just the sweater and beige pants. Then, I realized, like, wearing beige pants on your period gets a little dangerous. Mm-hmm. So, especially with the way my periods were. So then, in grade 11 and 12, all I wore, navy pants and the gray sweatshirt.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't even remember what I wore in grade 9 and 10. I think it was mainly, like, t-shirts with, like, the beige pants.
Yeah.
But when I got to grade 11, all I wore was the green sweater and the beige pants.
Yeah.
Loved it.
We wore the same, and like on some level it was nice, but like I didn't really have like my own clothes because I literally went from school uniform to Tim Hortons uniform.
Yeah.
Like those were the only things, and then like what, sweats when I got home, like pajamas.
Honestly, same.
Like
we just lived in uniform.
Yeah, we just lived in uniforms. So.
Do you have another one?
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
So Annie and I went to England in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I flew for the first time by myself to England. And it's June. And I'm hyped for this trip. Mm-hmm. But I've also never flown before. I thought I was fine. Like, I was like, I'm not nervous at all. Like, I'm just going to sleep the whole flight.
Yeah.
So it'll be fine. And I was on a window seat because I like looking out the window when we, like, take off and land.
Right.
So I had the window seat, and beside me were two lovely old ladies who, one of them had lived in Glasgow, which is what I flew into, and grew up there, and then moved, and then her friend also grew up in Glasgow, but they didn't meet each other until they moved to Canada.
Right, that's cool.
Yeah, and then they were going back together for a trip. So I was like, oh, that's nice. So had a bit of a chat with them, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I had asked for a blanket before because I've only flown have I only flown like 2 other times before that? So I didn't think to bring a blanket. I just had on a zip-up sweater and like tights. Comfy. And then I was like, okay, I want to sleep, but it's freezing. So I got a blanket, and then by the time they came around to have me pay for the blanket, I was asleep. So they were like, okay, like basically they were just like, I can just pay after.
Yeah.
So, because I think they just didn't want to wake me up. Then I woke up abruptly. Nothing woke me up. I just woke up abruptly. And then it was like, all of a sudden, I was like, oh, I'm still on this fucking flight. Like, and in the matter of seconds, I started to panic.
Right.
And my body went into full panic mode and was like, you need to, like, go to the bathroom. Because I'm either going to throw up or faint or something.
Yeah.
So the two women, very nice older ladies next to me, were asleep. So I had to wake them up to get past them in a panic to get to the bathroom. So I get to the bathroom, the lineups on both sides of the bathroom. And at this point, now I'm standing, I feel like I'm going to pass out.
Yeah.
So I immediately turn to the flight attendants who are like just chatting. And I was like, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but I think I'm going to pass out. And they immediately go, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, and they're like, do you need oxygen? And I just immediately go, I don't know. Do I need oxygen? So now I'm panicking harder. And they were like, okay. Sit down. So I sit down, and my body's sweating. Like, you know, like a cold sweat. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm so hot. But, like, to touch, I was probably just, like, normal temperature or cold. Like, I was sweating. And then, so they were like, okay, like, we don't know if you need oxygen, but they gave me, like, this huge bag of ice, and I'm sitting, you know, like, in the flight attendant seat that's, like, at the front of a row, like, the rows of seats.
And you can see the people down.
You can see the people, yeah. So I'm sitting there, and I'm kind of, like, sitting at an, like, facing where the flight attendants, like, stand and get things ready, so you could see my profile. Everybody down the aisle could see my profile, and I'm sweating and, like, breathing heavy because I'm having a panic attack.
Yeah.
On this flight, and people are starting to be like, what's going on? So people are starting to like lean out of their seats to like take a look at me. Nosy. Yeah, and both bathrooms are still full, so I can't even like get into a bathroom to like calm down. And then they bring me this huge bag of, like full of ice, and they're like, here, put this on your chest. Yeah. And then I was like on my and then I go to put it up against my sweater, and they're like, no, try and put it, like, on your chest. Like, you don't want, like, a sweater material because then you're not going to be able to feel it enough. Yeah. So I, in full panic, just unzip my sweater.
Get your titties out.
There's nothing underneath this sweater. No. Like, my titties are on full display for all of these people to see, and I just don't care at this point. Like, at this point, it's either, like, okay, either I pass out on this flight, And I was, like, even to the extent of thinking, like, they're gonna have to, like, I'm like, we're in the middle of the ocean, probably. Like, we're over the ocean. Like, I was like, they're not going to be able to land the plane. Like, if I even die. Like, I was like, I'm going to die on this plane right here. I'm like, or they're going to have to do some kind of emergency land because of me, and everybody's going to be mad at me.
So it's that, or you get to see my titties.
So I was like, plus, like, I was like, or some people are just going to have to see my titties. So I just unzipped, immediately put the ice on my chest. The ice is, like, covering my boobs at this point, so you can't really see, but, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were like, what is going on? So I'm just sitting there, like, chest out, ice on my titties, and I'm just sitting there. It does help, like, because it's like a shock to your system, and it kind of pulls you away from your thoughts. So immediately my body starts to settle. Then I also, at this point, I hadn't eaten because you get, like, a meal on the flight. So the last time I had eaten was before I got on the flight. Honestly, I think, like, how long is that flight? 8 hours?
I think it's 6.
I think it's longer, friend.
It's not. It's like 6 or 7.
It's got to be 7. There's no way it was 6.
Could be 7. It's not 8.
Italy's
8.
I was like, at this point, we're 6 hours into the flight.
Yeah.
So I had, like, 2 hours left of this flight.
Right.
An hour and a half, 2 hours, around there. And I'm sitting, and, like, finally the bathroom comes free. So I go into the bathroom, and they were like, okay, like, just take your time. Like, don't freak out. Like, it's okay. Like, because I was like, I'm so sorry. And they were like, it's okay. Like, just relax. And I was like, okay. So I go into the bathroom, and then somebody comes in, like, knocks on the bathroom, and I'm just, like, deep breathing, like, head between my knees, ice on my chest, like, and then they were like, so somebody knocks, and then I was like, so I open the door, and they're like, oh, we just brought you, like, some ginger ale, like, to help, like, get your, like, blood sugar, like, good. So I was like, okay. So I drank some ginger ale, and then basically, like, I did a couple, like, breathing things to, like, calm my breathing mostly. Yeah. And then I just, like, looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, bro, you're not getting off this flight. Like, I was like, you've got an hour and a half, 2 hours left. I was like, you've got to pull your shit together. There's, like, I can't get off. Like, I was like, there's no way I can get off, which is what I wanted to do at the time. But I was like, I can't get off. So I was like, you just got to pull your shit together. And then I was able to calm down, pull myself together. I had, like, half a ginger ale in the bathroom before I even left the bathroom. I managed to, like, get to my seat. And then they were like, hopefully, like, they were like, do you want anything to eat? And I was like, I'm kind of feeling nauseous right now, so not really. And they were like, okay. And they were like, food is going to be coming out in, like, a few minutes anyway. Yeah. So they were like, maybe just try and graze on it. It might make you feel better. So I was like, okay. And then I, like, come back to the seat, and I'm like, I'm so sorry to, like, the old ladies. And the ladies are like, oh, it's okay, honey. Like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, that's I'm fine. Sweet. So then, whatever, the meal comes. I eat my meal. Then it's, like, afterwards, getting off the flight. And I just, like, stopped before getting off and, like, pulled off to, like, the side where the flight attendants were. And I was like, thank you, like, for your help. But I was like, I haven't paid for my blanket yet. Like, I need to pay for it. And they were like, we're not going to make you pay for the blanket. They were like, it's okay. And I was like, are you sure? Like, I don't mind. And they were like, no, I think you've had, like, a hard enough trip as it is.
That's
like,
sweet.
Yeah, so they didn't make me pay for the blanket. So then, like, Annie still has voice memos, but, like, then, like, I get to, I get off the plane, and I have to, like, go get my luggage and everything. And I'm, like, voice memoing Annie because my arms are, like, full of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, voice memoing Annie, like, being like, yeah, I'm just picking up my bag. Oh, wait, no, I'm not going there anymore. I'm going here instead. I have to go through this first. And then I was like, okay, I'll, like, meet you out there. Then we get out, and she was like, we were, like, happy to see each other. We hug each other, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, so how was your flight? And I was like, oh,
that's a story.
I was like, and then Annie just has, like, this boomerang of me because we went, and I was like, I need, like, caffeine. Like, yeah. I was like, I need something, and I'm like, I need to eat, and, like, a proper meal, not, like, this shitty airplane meal. Mm-hmm. So we went to, like, a cafe and, like, sat, like, and we also had to wait for our train because we were taking a train to Brighton.
Yeah. And it was delayed.
Yeah, so it got delayed again and again and again.
Yeah.
But we had to wait, so we just went to, like, a cafe. I got, like, a chai latte and some food. And then there's a boomerang that Annie has me that, like, close-ups on my face. And I look like I've been through it. Like, I look miserable. And, like, I wasn't. Like, I was happy to be there and everything. But I was, like, tired from the flight. then, like, also there's, like, jet lag that hadn't even really kicked in yet, but I looked like it had kicked in at that point. Plus, I had the panic attack, and, like, yeah, it was a time, but,
You were tired.
I was tired. And then literally, like, Annie's like, you have to try and stay up. And then I kind of, like, napped a little bit, like, waiting for our train because it got delayed so much, and we found these, like, couches, and I just, like, laid on the couch and, like, kind of dozed for him. I'm like, just let me know when it comes. So then eventually it came, and then we went to Brighton, and then Annie's like, you have to try and stay up. And I was feeling pretty okay at this point.
Yeah, we had a nap.
Yeah, like,
I was tired too.
The little, like, cat naps that we were having were, like, helped a lot.
Yeah.
But then you were like, you have to try and stay up until, like, 10, like, at least 10 p.m. And I was like, okay, 9 p.m. rolls around. I'm like fighting to keep my eyes out. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, I gotta go to sleep. You were like, maybe if you take a shower. I'm like, I don't want to take a shower. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then literally we slept from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. the next day. Like a full 12 hours sleep.
It was a good sleep.
Yeah, it was really good.
And also that day before I did a lot of traveling. Like, I came all the way from Bedford.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've literally been on a train, and then I was waiting in, like, the waiting room for you to come.
And it took a while. Like, it takes a while, like, because, like, when somebody says that they're landing at...
It takes at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, it took us, like, 3 hours when we were getting our baggage because they were so backed up at Pearson on our way back. But on the way, like, England, like, Glasgow wasn't too bad, actually, for getting it. I think, like, it was a total of, like, 45 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
And, like, to get my stuff and then to meet up with you. And then just, like, waiting for our train and stuff. It was, like, another...
Yeah. Thankfully, I was only waiting for, like, an hour. Because I knew that you were going to be late.
Yeah, so that's good. The plane was going
to be delayed.
Yeah. So, also, like, even though, like, they're like, oh, yeah, we'll arrive at this time. Like, I arrived at noon. Was it noon?
I can't remember.
I think it was, like, around noon. But, like, we arrived... When they say that you're arriving, that's, like, you touch down at noon. Like, that doesn't include, like... parking the airplane, then actually everybody getting off the airplane, then getting your baggage and, like, customs, and then, like, actually meeting up with people.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So, yeah, it's, like...
It's draining.
It is quite draining. I really enjoy it, like, other than the, like, panic attack. I did, like, really enjoy, like, it, though. Like, airplanes cause me stress, but airports don't really.
Airports cause me stress.
Yeah, they don't really for me.
It's a lot just going on.
I think for me, like, it's mostly just, like, as long as, like, I know I'll get there on time.
Yeah.
So as long as, like, I am, like, I always in there 3 hours ahead. Mm-hmm. So then I'm there, I go through everything, I find where I need to sit, and then usually, like, I'll find somebody to sit, like, near, and then I'll be like, I'm just going to go get some food. Can you watch my stuff?
Yeah.
And then they'll do that kind of situation. Or if you're with somebody, then one of you will go get food. Right?
You did do good, though, traveling by yourself.
Yeah, just that one panic attack.
Yeah. It's scary. Like, I flew over by myself. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I had only flown once before by myself, but I still had someone.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just me, but it wasn't an adult.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, when we flew back together, like, it was fine. Like, I was fine. It's, like, it's having, like, that distraction there, but I think because I was by myself, and then I hadn't really, like, my anxiety stems from feeling trapped. And on an airplane, like, you're, like, I can't leave if I want to leave. So then I think it was just, like, I wasn't expecting to feel anxious about it. So then when I did feel anxious, it came on so quick that I had, like, no response time. Yeah, but it's a funny story now to tell. But in the moment, it was pretty...
You're like, I want this to end.
I was like,
now.
Oh my gosh.
That trip was so fun.
That trip was really fun. But really fun trip. We'll go through, like, what we did each day and, like, how
maybe
it
I'll
was.
talk about, like, what I did in Europe as well.
Yeah, because it was a banging trip.
I was there for 2 months.
Yeah, Annie was gone for 2, honestly.
I needed it. But yeah, I definitely think people should travel if they want to. Just do it.
Yeah.
If money isn't stopping you.
Yeah.
You can travel cheap. You can. There's ways
you can budget trips, and then also, like, you can, like, choose where you want to go and then save. Like, put your money away, like, over time.
Like, literally, because when I bought my flight to England, I was on the couch. I'm like, I want to go to England. I bought my ticket right there.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that. I'm a very impulsive person.
Yeah, maybe do a little bit more planning.
But I had the money for the plane ticket. I wasn't thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
And I had spoke with my aunt that I want to come see her, and thankfully she's a sweetheart. And
Annie has family in England.
I have connections and family. But for the England portion, I suggested you should come with me, and then I didn't really start booking that until a month before I left.
Yeah, because then also your flight was supposed to be earlier, because you were supposed to come back earlier. But then I was like, oh, like, I want to come. And then you were like, do you want to come? And then we can just fly back together. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, sure. But then with the timing of my flights, it ended up being like a little bit later. So you just adjusted your flight to the flight that I was on.
Yeah, I extended my flight. I extended my trip because I was supposed to be going home after I stayed with my mom's fiance's grandparents. Or parents, sorry. My step-grandparents. So I was staying with them. I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave yet.
Yeah.
So I just extended my flight.
Yeah. And I had booked my round trip a while before that.
Yeah, it's about $700 to fly to England.
Yeah, it was
in
expensive.
the time we went.
Yeah.
It's more expensive in July and August.
Yeah, we went in June, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it was a really good time. We got really lucky with the weather, too.
Oh my god, because England, it usually freaking rains all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really great trip. Like I said, we'll do like a whole thing on it, but yeah, that's like kind of all we have for today. Just wanted to like tell some stories and like kind of give you guys some ideas of what some embarrassing things that have happened in our lives, some funny things that have happened in our life, some of both embarrassing and funny.
I've definitely had some funny encounters through life.
Same. Yeah, and then that last bit at the end to give you guys like an idea of where
we might do that one for the next one as well. Something like that. We're traveling.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So keep your eyes open. Every Wednesday we've got a new episode coming out. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Not really.
Do you want to plug your Instagrams?
Yeah. My personal is Annie X Muir. Don't really post much. I post some funny memes, though, sometimes. And then my art account is Annie Muir Art. And then, if you want to check out my website, my website is anniemuir.com. I just have a really cool website.
She does. It's really nice. And the pod's on there.
Yeah. So you can get updates through that. The videos are also linked directly in there.
Look at you go. Yes. It looks really nice. I really like it. It makes me want my own website.
Squarespace.
Yeah.
If you're a digital artist or an illustrator or just a content creator, I suggest making an online portfolio when applying for jobs. It will get you the job more than likely. Yeah. If you have a visual of your work. It definitely
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm at itsmeshay.xx. That's my personal. I've actually been really having like a bit more fun with my personal because I don't feel like it needs to be like as like tailored because I was doing the fitness stuff before.
Yeah.
So, but now it's just my personal account, so I just post whatever I want. Like I love the photo drops.
I'm gonna do another one soon. I think they're so funny.
I think they're great. And then my fitness, now I have a separate account for my fitness.
Yeah.
And that's shayfit.xx.
Yeah.
So I have those two. So go ahead and follow us on there. And then our podcast Instagram is at Hi Friends Pod.
Yeah.
On Instagram. And we both like pretty much we've just been posting like updates on each episodes that are coming up, but we have a few more things coming for stories and stuff like that, and possibly some videos coming. So keep your eyes open for that, to learn a bit more about us and to kind of hear a bit more. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode, and hopefully you got as much joy out of us talking about our stories as we did talking about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, until next time. Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her.